The children were crying and screaming. Siegfried leaned over his wife, whose wide-open eyes stared lifelessly into his. "Freda, Freda, come on, get up," he cried, his voice filled with anguish. He took her in his arms to help her, but she couldn't stand. Suddenly, as she continued to stare fixedly, he realized she was dead. Sobered now, he rushed towards the door and fled into the night, running on and on, as if he had lost his mind. Again the scene changed and Siegfried appeared, firmly bound between two guards, one of whom was putting a hood over Siegfried's head. The executioner also wore one with holes cut in it for his eyes. He was a huge man and held within his enormous hand the handle of a wide blade axe. The guard made Siegfried kneel, bending forward so that his head rested on the execution block. Now the executioner came forward and assumed his position. A priest hastily recited prayers as the executioner slowly raised his axe over his head. Quite suddenly, he let it fall on the neck of Siegfried. The victim's head rolled across the ground, causing the crowd to recoil several steps. I had just witnessed the violent death of one of my many physical bodies. The sensation was so strange. Until the moment of his death, I had been filled with a great fondness for this man, and although he had done wrong, I felt great pity for him. At the moment of his death, however, as his head rolled across the ground amid the murmurs of the crowd, I felt an overwhelming sense of relief on his account as well as my own. Immediately, I was presented with another scene. Before me was a lake, its shining blue waters reflecting the rays of two suns which hung quite low on the horizon. A small boat, richly yet delicately decorated with sculptures and paintings, proceeded across the lake. It was guided by men of medium size and reddish complexion, using long poles which they plunged into the water. Beneath a type of canopy and seated on an ornately decorated throne, was a lovely young woman with golden skin. Her oval-shaped face was lit up by pretty almond eyes and long blonde hair that fell to her waist. She was relaxed and smiling as the young company, which hovered around her, entertained her light-heartedly. I knew instantly that this pretty creature was myself in another life. The boat proceeded steadily towards a landing pier, from which led a wide pathway bordered by tiny flowering shrubs. This path disappeared among trees that surrounded what appeared to be a palace, with roofs at various levels and of various colors. With a change of scene, I was transported inside the palace to find myself in a lavishly decorated room.